No, this ain't fanfiction. Super Saiyan, Kaio Ken, God Key, Power Up, Extreme Power is not just some fan-made bullshit. Hello there, beautiful friends from around the world. I'm going to be your host, Blackenfist, and this is my episode 39, a review, without a doubt, the best action episode in the entire series, if not the best episode in the entire series so far. Dragon Ball Super has had a problem where the fights and the punches, the hits they've been taking, no pun intended, have had no impact. It seems that every time these guys punch each other, the show lacks a way for those hits to really convey any impact. But this show took it to another level. With Goku now being Super Saiyan Blue, he goes straight at Hit. And you gotta take it to where credit is due. I think one reason why the fighting here is so good is because the animation is better and honestly has been improving throughout this entire arc. I mean, the impact of those first hits that Goku had on Hit were really satisfying, especially that last punch. Man, that got me a little hype, I'm not gonna lie. But it seems that Goku has finally found a way to counter Hit's time skip technique. And Goku, like in Dragon Ball fashion, but really in Shonen fashion, because quite honestly, this is not something just exclusive to Dragon Ball. It's, you know, a lot of these type of shows where they just blurt out how they're going to counter something or how a move works, and then Piccolo scolds Goku for doing that, because in all honesty, it doesn't really make sense why you would say that in the first place. You could just attribute this to Goku being cocky, but I like the fact that it's actually acknowledged here that it's kind of dumb just to blurt out how your strategy is going to be. The way Goku was able to counter the time skip is by predicting how Hit's going to move a tenth of a second later. So it's really a guessing game that Goku has done in the past. He did this by paying close attention to him, and of course by watching Vegeta's fight. Hit's eager to improve his own technique, seems to improve his technique right on the spot to 2/10 of a second, even faster, and he actually manages to get a critical blow on Goku. Now this is something that I think highlights a little bit more of Hit's character. We don't know a lot about Hit even yet, but we're starting to learn that he's not like the most darkest, like low blow type of guy, because he lets Hit get up even while Champa is telling to finish him off. And the reason is because he is grateful that Goku forced him to improve his techniques, which tells us that Hit does have some kind of moral code. He has some kind of honor to him. It doesn't seem as Hit is not as evil as maybe a lot of people were thinking. But now with Hit's time skip being back into play, I have to say, they do stylize Hit's time skip really well here. This is something that I really like, and it adds a lot more character, it adds a lot more personality to the actual technique, especially when Hit was hitting him with all those blows right in the middle of battle where everything's just frozen. It just looks awesome. And of course, this is all coupled with the audio effects as well. But now we're going to the big reveal. It seems that Goku has a trump card, or it's an unfinished trump card. What he was about to reveal, he says, is an unfinished technique, and of course that's the Kaio Ken. The Kaio Ken plus the Super Saiyan God. And on top of this kind of blowing my mind for a little bit, this also reveals once again how Hit is as a character. He's extremely confident in himself, because while Goku is trying to power up his Kaio Ken, Champa is telling him to finish Goku off. Do not let him use that technique. But Hit, extremely confident in himself, just says that if he powers up, it's okay, because he can just improve even better than he did. Just like how Goku was able to counter his time skip technique, and on the fly, Hit was able to improve it so that he could use it again. Hit supreme confidence. But yeah, it's the Kaio Ken Super Saiyan God, and I mean, something like this did happen in the past. In the Otherworld Tournament arc, Goku did use the Kaio Ken when he was a Super Saiyan. However, it seems that the way that the Kaio Ken is portrayed here is a little different than from what it was any previous moment, filler or no filler, because the Kaio Ken is a burst type technique, and it seems that because Super Saiyan God is a quote-unquote a calm transformation and it doesn't put too much strain on your body, that he is able to maintain the Kaio Ken constantly, which is something that the Kaio Ken was not able to do before, because it was so destructive on your body that you only want it right as you're attacking your opponent, not constantly on. But it seems that with the Super Saiyan God, He's able to do this, which kind of makes even Beerus sweat a little bit, which is the reason why Goku even developed the technique in the first place. He was planning to use this technique on Beerus. Now, I really like this development because it actually gives a legit reason for why Goku can even take on Hit in the first place while Vegeta couldn't. One thing that was kind of worrying me is that Vegeta and Goku are supposed to be around the same strength. They're supposed to be around the same level. So why is it that Vegeta can get so easily bodied by Hit while Goku is going to put up a much better fight when they're supposed to be about equal? Well, the fact that Goku knows the Kaio Ken and he knows these quite honestly, he knows these other techniques that Vegeta simply doesn't know. And it didn't make sense to bring the Kaio Ken up before, because before it doesn't make sense. The Kaio Ken puts strain on your body, it wears you out. But with these new elements of the Super Saiyan God and God Ki and all these new elements, it almost seemed like the perfect entryway for the Kaio Ken to come in again. And that's exactly what happened. And it does a very good job of once again explaining why Goku surpassed Vegeta. Sorry, Super Saiyan. And if the punches and hits and all the blows that were being taken in this episode were not enough and people countering each other's techniques, it ends off with probably the best beam of the entire series. Goku delivers a mean Kamehameha. The beam struggles in Dragon Ball Super have been very, very disappointing. But not this one. This one finally delivers on something that should have been maybe from the beginning, but at least we're finally getting it right here and now, and hopefully they'll continue this to the future. This episode was a fighting episode, so a lot of it has to do with how the choreography is, and quite honestly, it's the best in the series. I think, in my opinion, there could be arguably better ones, but in my opinion, this is where it's at, right here. But anyway, guys, that has been my review of Dragon Ball Super Episode 39. It's probably the best episode. I'm not so sure so far, but it's definitely one of the best episodes, if not the best. But I'll have to let that sit in my mind, and it makes sense since we're getting down to the wire. This is supposed to be the climax. But if you enjoyed this review, if you enjoyed my thoughts, please subscribe to the channel, as I will be bringing you more Dragon Ball Super reviews as soon as they come out. But until next time, guys, I'm Blackenfist, and I'm out.